welcome to Ep.1 of the Born Winners podcast. We are delighted that all of you are watching us. We're excited to get some good content out to you guys. Cam, got anything to say?
Yes, sir. Hey man, thank y'all for showing up and watching us. We've been me and Amo been friends for a little minute now, one little minute, but you know what I'm saying. So to be able to do this, it's time for celebrations. And speaking of celebrations, yo, please tell me you saw Pat Bev go on a whole championship parade.
Oh brother, where do I begin? Where do I begin? I'm torn on this because one, Pat Bev, he plays with heart. I respect it, but you got to know your place, bro. You're a 7th seed in the playoffs. You didn't win the finals. You wanted to beat the Clippers. I understand, but you got to relax, bro, because this is just game 1. This is your first test.
But this is I feel like this is what makes Pat Bev. Like, who else would sit there and dudes sitting acting like Dwayne Wade jumping on scores tables, send their ass home. First off, they're not home yet. They got enough. Clippers can very well get back in the playoffs, right? Second of all, you clinch the playoffs, yes. But if you're Pat Bev, how many years has it been that you've been in the playoffs consecutively? You've been there your whole career. What do you like? You know what I mean?
It was more so the beef with the Clippers that they wrote him off, quote unquote.
Wrote you off. You were never on, yo. You're Pat Bev. You're not I don't it was hilarious to me because it's not just him, man. Anthony Edwards going crazy, Carly Towns, Jordan Woods all booed up, as if he didn't finish with 7 points or whatever else it was, getting fouled out with 7 minutes left in the game. It's just and then I saw inside the NBA was clowning them for it too, and I was just these dudes are really going crazy over making the playoffs. And I understand, I don't want to be the old man hating, oh, you can't go out and have fun and celebrate. You can, and they can celebrate. I can also look at you and be relax.
What are you
what
are you really celebrating? Because you still have to go in and play.
They had a whole IG live. That is reserved for championships. You know what I'm saying? South Carolina girls team did that, you know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, I don't know if you saw that. That was funny because I don't know what song they was singing along to, but it was a rap song. I think it was Lil Durk. And they done booted the white girl out the way before she slipped up and said something she shouldn't have, rapping along to the song.
Oh, for real, I didn't see that part.
Well, because she was in it, doing all the stuff, whatever. And then she got kind of I don't know if it was intentional, but she got kind of bumped out the way. And it was just someone on Twitter was yo, they booted out the way before she said something she shouldn't have. Yo, she got really good teammates. Shout out to them.
You don't realize in the moment what you're doing.
Yeah, but but Pat Bev is just I don't understand why he was going. So granted, be happy. I'm not saying don't be happy, but you're standing on scores tables, send their ass home.
Send all they asses home, bro. You got fined $30,000 for it.
Oh, did you really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it just came in
a
while ago.
That is whack, though.
Well, it was more so for all the cursing and stuff he did in the post.
Oh, all right, cry me a river. No, all right, look, he should be allowed to celebrate the way he did and how he wants to. I can still say, yo, all right, what do you celebrate? Or what do you really celebrate here?
I just think at this point it's just popular to find Pat Bev.
Maybe.
I think that was just let's just do it to get people riled up because they like to see him get fined.
Pat Bev, bro. Very interesting. And then, then you have, Anthony Edwards going crazy. And, but I'm not mad at Anthony Edwards, though, because, he wasn't sitting here, crying. Pat Bev was in tears. Yo, tears for making the playoffs that you've done damn near your whole career since you've been in the NBA anyway. And you asked earlier, so what was more funny, him or Joel Embiid crying?
Both classic pictures, very classic pictures, both of them.
I think Joel Embiid was more understandable. He lost on a traumatic shot down in his face and everything that sent them to the conference finals, right? I get Joel Embiid at that moment. He wasn't crying for a playing game.
Yeah.
But like,
moving on from that. So with the Timberwolves now in, do you take the Grizzlies what do you think about John Morant and Anthony Edwards going head to head?
I think it's very interesting because it's two people who I think I don't want to call them anyone the next face of the NBA because like it's really to be determined because right now it's still like LeBron and KD and stuff like that. But the two people have like potential to be the face. Especially Anthony Edwards. Like, take the play out of it. The dude, I'm sold on him. He's a star. I don't care if he averages just 20 points a game the rest of his career. I love he's so entertaining. Like every interview he does, everything he says, it's just like he just has that that star factor about him. That like authentic, he's like authentic in a ways that a lot of players aren't. Like you don't get LeBron making comments that like Anthony Edwards makes.
No.
Because it's like he wants his brand is so pristine and nice and whatnot. Him versus Ja is going to be interesting to watch. Granted, I don't give Timberwolves a shot in hell.
No,
because they just and as much as for what it's worth, I am very hesitant on the Grizzlies as a team moving forward. At least like this year anyway. They're still better than Timberwolves because do you think Karl Anthony Towns is going to perform?
No.
Exactly.
I don't even think his heart beat like that.
No, it don't.
His heart don't beat like.
And for how much the man talks on his little Twitch podcast, whatever he's doing, the man's been throwing shots at Westbrook and stuff all year. It's just like, dude, chill. Like he's a good player.
Right.
Bugging out with the whole greatest three-point shooting big man ever.
It's very early to say something like that. I don't understand where that even comes from. Like,
he is a good shooter. Don't get me wrong, but like you're good at standstill. Dirk's hitting one-legged fadeaways with people in his face.
Right.
He was doing that before, the floor was as spread out as it is and stuff like for threes and one. So I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's tweaking a little bit. I don't trust him in playoffs. He's and I keep thinking, who was he? He was driving against Boogie, and it's just that picture of him getting just Boogie just standing down like that and probably touch you know what I'm saying? Ever since then, man, I don't take nothing he do seriously.
His heart don't be like that.
Nah, not at all. I think that'll be at most 6 games, but I think it's a 5-game series.
I was gonna say 5 too.
Yeah,
Grizzlies are rolling. I think they were a great team this season, but I don't think they're gonna go far. But they can, like you said, definitely take out the Timberwolves.
Yeah. So staying on the whole the playing tournament, did you get a chance to watch the Nets and the Cavs?
Yes, I did.
Game that break.
That was
my head, man. That was so stressful for me, man.
It was a very stressful game. But I want to say, man, the Nets. I think the Nets are rolling at a very perfect pace right now. I think
are they rolling?
Kyrie right now they have the perfect chemistry going right now.
So those two are rolling because it's hard for those two not to be rolling. But like the rest of the team, like realistically speaking, right, the Nets right now, even as good as they played, the other night, they're going to be the 7th seed. Like they're not, even a top 5 seed right now, right? So they're going to be playing, luckily for them, I think they get in Boston first round, which is better than getting Milwaukee, I guess. I think getting Miami would be preferred for my first round matchup if I was the Nets. But I just don't know if they have enough because the defense is just bad. And my thing is, what's going to change? Like, what is going to switch that they couldn't turn on before?
Well, I think a lot of it, I think, was the fact that they didn't have Kyrie full time. They lost James Harden. They had to do a lot of adjusting this season, to be honest. They really did. And then they had injuries with KD, and they had a lot. They did not have the easiest season. I think they're just now hitting their peak, though. I think they're hitting their peak because Kyrie has been hooping like no other, and KD's going to be KD regardless.
Yeah.
I think if they can get some production out of Drummond and a little something out of Seth too, I think they can take the Celtics, in my opinion.
Also, I'll say this though: the Cavs had Jared Allen. I don't think the Nets win that game.
Right. I also agree.
Granted, the Nets also don't have Ben Simmons, so you can play the whole injury card all you want, but Ben Simmons' injury is different because injury. I personally think he's trying to get back like 20 million or whatever back from the Sixers that he lost. And so I think the way to do that is to be like, oh, see, I'm still hurt. Because if he showed up in Brooklyn and started playing, he wouldn't get no money back.
That's a good
but now
point.
he can still claim, I was hurt. Look at me,
Yeah, very
I
good
just saw
point.
I just saw today he's looking at a game 4 return.
Yeah, I saw
Like
the same
he's
thing.
playing this very strategically, I think. Because my thing is, how do you hurt your back doing what?
Maybe there's deadlines or something he has to hit injury wise or something behind the scenes we don't know about.
Yeah, but I don't know. But
so do you think adding Ben Simmons for this series will help or hurt the Nets?
Can't hurt. I think Ben Simmons at his most primal and basic form is just like a great defender. A great defender and a great passer. You know what I mean? So I know he's not the LeBron that people want him to be, right? But he doesn't have to be. Like in Philly, they needed him to be more aggressive offensively because of the way like that team was set up. Because their best player was a big man. Big men have to. It's a little harder for them to get their shot because someone needs to get them the ball, right?
Right.
But I think now it's like they don't need Ben Simmons to score one. Granted, he can't be passing up lay or short dunks over Trae Young like he did, but
that makes me start twitching, man. Every time I think about that, I start twitching. Be a man and go up, bro. Like
it would have been an and one,
right?
It would have been an and one. And if you miss the free throws, you miss the free throws. But like, whatever, we can go deep down. Simmons on the time.
Gonna start.
But I think it helps because I think like the chemistry question. I don't think they need to worry about him being a fit because if he just comes in and be's the all NBA defender that he is, like take out the passing and facilitating. If he just plays the defense he plays, that's what they need. The depth that they don't have. So it's like I think there's no way it hurts them. Will it be enough to overcome Milwaukee? I don't know because when I seen Giannis hit that little step back 3 last time they played out to clinch the game, I was just like, yeah, man, Giannis is different.
Yeah, Giannis is definitely.
And it's wild because like the man sat there and airballed a 3 like a couple of possessions before, comes back, does a step back, and I was just like, all right, that's not fair. Like if Giannis is gonna be doing that, then like good luck. But
it's all about elevating, and that's one thing Giannis did, and one thing Ben Simmons has yet to do.
Yeah. Now, granted, KD dragged that team last year to 7 games with them without Kyrie and without James Harden. So James played, but he was like hurt and whatnot. Granted, what was the difference between that and this year James Harden? I don't know, but nonetheless, I think it'll be a very interesting series because I honestly. As much as I like, I'm a big Kyrie fan and want him to win. I honestly could see it not being a 7-game series. Yeah. Like I could see Milwaukee taking it in like 6, in a comfortable 6. But
I think Milwaukee's definitely the most. I always say like the most balanced team. Like they have a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
They have a full lineup. Like Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
Very solid defensive guard. You got Middleton, all-star shooting guard. Giannis. You got Brook Lopez, beast in the paint. Like. They have a very good team. So it's going to be hard to beat a full team,
Also, I wish people would stop trying to say Giannis and Middleton are the best duo in the NBA. They're not. Giannis is one of the best players, if not the best player in the NBA. Cool. Yeah. But to say like Middleton's better than Kyrie is like ridiculous.
I won't say that, but Middleton, I watch the games. Middleton is a guy I'd want playing next to me for sure.
No, he is. But I feel like if Middleton doesn't have Giannis with him, what is Middleton? Like again, make it peak like the best version of Paul George. Mm-hmm. Best version of Paul George you can think of in Chris Middleton. That's not.
Nah, it's not.
It's not. It's not the same. And you're not talking about Chris Middleton as being a surefire number 2. You're looking at him as slightly better than CJ McCollum.
Yeah,
because he's better defensively than CJ is.
Definitely.
But it's interesting because I feel like it's crazy that the Nets even had to be in this position.
Yeah.
Granted, they could be the Lakers. They could be LA, who might have had the most disappointing season in NBA history. I don't know if there's ever been anything. Did you see Westbrook's whole first off, Frank Vogel? I don't know how I feel about that. Like he got fired, but he didn't get fired. He got told he was going to be fired. Like, could you imagine your job comes to you, hey, Amo, like, you're not fired yet, but we're gonna fire you on Monday.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like that is the most. It's so but it's hilarious. And I imagine Lakers didn't make the playoffs because it would have just been funny.
Honestly,
they would have lost first round, and it would have been funny as hell to just
but I feel for the guy though, because I know it's not his fault. It is not Frank Vogel's fault. It's not his complete fault. He does not deserve full blame. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't. Yeah, he
does not. I don't even think he deserves over 50% of the blame. Because if you ask me, first off, he wasn't allowed to do anything without asking upstairs any question. He had to ask upstairs for everything. First off, second off, I know that he was dealing with injuries, but Russ was all time bad. Russell Westbrook was the worst version of Russell Westbrook I've ever seen, and he was terrible. Like, there was no coming back from a season that Westbrook had. He is all time bad for that. And I didn't want to believe it. I'm sorry. I didn't want to believe it until I started tuning into every Lakers game. And I really watched him hit the side of the hoop night after night after night, turn the ball over night after night. You can't defend him.
There's a whole 3-minute clip. And this was like midway through the season when it came out. 3-minute clip of him shooting off the side of the backboard. And don't get me wrong, I'm not an NBA player. I'm not NBA caliber. I'm not nothing close to that. You know what I'm saying?
I second that for sure.
Random out of park, I could play cool, but like nothing crazy, whatever, right? I could do better than that. Like, I'm not shooting off the side of the backboard. You know how many shots you can get up in 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, that is like, I don't have, like, I really want to go back and count, to be honest. But like, it's like, how are you that, bad at shooting? And then turnovers, awful. But what I will say is, why I say it's not Vogel's fault, I feel like the problem with the Lakers is, though, no one's taking blame. You know what I'm saying? Like, you try to blame LeBron, I average 30 points. I don't put the team together, although he kind of does, but he claims he doesn't anyway. You know what I'm saying? Russell Westbrook, I never got a chance to be me. Anthony Davis. These aren't, I know I get injured a lot, but these are freak accidents that I can't do nothing about. Frank Vogel, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm just the coach of these guys. I can't make any decisions.
Excuses
Rob Pelinka. Oh, it's not me. It's all like, it's like everyone is like, it's just like everyone has an excuse and a reason why it's not working. And not one person's being like, yeah, I could have done this. We could have done that. It's like, it's always like someone else's fault. And like, the thing that's interesting about like, the Westbrook situation is, I feel like, because you got a lot of people trying to defend Russ and be like, oh, it's not his fault, it's not his fault. And I feel like he went so long in his career of being like blamed for things that weren't his fault. Like, especially back on the Thunder with like Kevin Durant and them. It's like, oh, they lost because Westbrook isn't whatever. And it wasn't his fault. So people are so used to trying to defend him. I guess people unfairly attacking him. To where now we're in like a polar opposite where he actually deserves blame. Like shooting like 30% on 3-pointers, awful. Having all the turnovers you have, awful. Like, and I get the whole like and then being, oh yeah, they didn't really let me be myself.
I wanted to speak on that.
Which is interesting you say that, because one, it's interesting to say it publicly because neither LeBron nor Anthony Davis, really, nor anybody really, right, on that Lakers team has came out and spoken negatively of Russ. They've all been very careful to not throw him under the bus, while the fan base and the media have, right? But like, they haven't done anything. So it's interesting to see him. That was really uncharacteristic of him to do so. But it was nice because it was probably how he felt and it was honest. So I respect it.
Right.
But, and it was a bad fit. And I also think, Russ, they didn't need you to be who you were. And I think that's the problem. Like,
my thing is with him saying that is, let's get this straight. He's played the most games as a Laker on that whole roster, I believe. So he started 78 games. Yes, that is a full season. So AD missed, don't know the numbers off the top of my head. AD missed a lot of time. LeBron missed a lot of time. While both of them were out, at that moment, don't you have the opportunity to be who you want to be or do what you want to do? And you did not prove anything.
You would think so. Because my thing, you're right. That I honestly hadn't thought of that, but that is a great point. Where all the time everyone else missed.
Right.
You would think like, all right, cool, I can be myself for these next 7 games, whatever else it is.
And what did he do? Still hit the side of the backboard.
And that's my thing. And my thing is, like, I could understand if the Lakers' record didn't change at all. But if you tell me Russ, at least when it was just him, was averaging, 23 points, 10 and 10, like he getting his triple doubles, like the stuff he was doing before, or at least the numbers he was putting up in like Washington last year, then that's like, all right, cool. Maybe Russ isn't the most conductive to winning, but you knew that coming into it from where he was everywhere else, and Russ was being Russ. And you got to take Russ being Russ for what he is. The problem is he wasn't even being Russ.
Exactly.
Like, and so it's like, even when he had the chance to. And so it was a colossal failure. I don't know where on earth they go from here, because
I'm seeing some possible trades to Indiana. They missed out on Buddy Hield last time, but they can get Buddy Hield and Brogdon for Westbrook, which is
but would you make that trade for Indiana?
No, but I believe they're trying to clear up space or something. So
yeah, I guess clear up space for what? They're not getting nobody.
Yeah,
it's Indiana. Who the hell wants to go play in Indiana? It's in the middle of nowhere.
That's them though, but I don't know. Russell gotta look himself in the mirror this season. At the end of the season, and he gotta look himself.
That whole organization does.
Yeah. And
LeBron thinks just because he averaged 30, just because his numbers were good, that he's let off the hook. Like, nah, you're one of the people who shot down allegedly the whole Buddy Hield trade that would have just been like Montrez and Kuzma, and they could have kept KCP. He wanted to get Russ. DeMar DeRozan wanted to come play in LA.
Turn him down.
Yeah, so and I understand the DeRozan point because they needed shooting. They needed Buddy Hield.
Yeah, they did.
They needed Buddy Hield and to not lose KCP, but it's a mess. And I feel like the Lakers organization, like, it's weird because like they always have like stars, but this is like the first time where they've had stars and they've been like it's bad.
Terrible.
Like the fact that your stars can't carry you to at least a play, like not even a playing game.
And where you're allowed 10 different teams are allowed in each conference.
10 teams. Like you couldn't beat out the Spurs. Because let's be real, no one wanted to watch the Spurs in a playing game.
No, not at
Spurs.
all.
Like they're boring. Like, shout out to Pop, but like it's the Spurs, and y'all couldn't do that. Not to mention they were at like the 7 or 8 seed with like 2 weeks left in the season.
Blew it.
Something like that, or maybe like a month left in the season. But like they were there at a point, and they just dropped and dropped and dropped. And it was all after AD came back too, which is kind of weird.
I don't think anybody on that team cared after a certain point.
AD is also a fraud.
Oh, of course.
Fraud. Like I don't want to hear no more like Tim Duncan comparisons and whatever. Like, great player, great talent, but like, come on now. You won a championship and you're supposed to have a little takeoff.
Right.
And he just like, but that's insane. I'm sure they got a lot of stuff to do. I'm sure they all feel, disrespected. Like LeBron talking at the beginning of the season, keep the same energy. All right, yeah, we're keeping the same energy, dog.
Man. Good old
Y'all
Bron,
sorry.
Man. I think that tweet has been deleted.
It had to have been deleted because,
I'm almost sure it has.
I mean, actually, it better not be. You better stand on that. Like, it didn't work out. Cool, shit happens, but you can't be out here like deleting your tweets.
Yeah.
At that point, you might as well go and get you a burner if you're gonna do all that.
The KD burner.
Oh my gosh, hey man, I respect KD because at least nowadays he's like standing on what he's just tweeting from his account now.
Yeah,
still kind of wild sometimes, but like at least he's owning it.
Still lost respect in the social media world though. I don't think anyone takes him serious.
No. Also, he had a comment the other day about like who's gonna win like the MVP. They were talking about and he said like Joel Embiid should win it, and he's talking about, but he's not gonna win it because people like Giannis and Jokic better, which, in my opinion, was an extremely like bad and lazy take. Not that Joel Embiid doesn't deserve to win it or be in a conversation for it, but to like dumb it down to like they just don't like him.
Yeah.
First off, I've never met or heard one person not like Joel Embiid. Like he's a very, very likable person. Like, and I don't know why people would like Giannis more than Embiid. Necessarily. Like, I mean, like
Giannis Giannis just looks like a humble dude, man.
No,
like
he
he's just
does.
happy to be here, type of
yeah,
thing.
but it's the same thing with Joel. He just jokes around and tries to have fun with everything. You know what I mean? The whole little meme he posted when Ben Simmons finally got traded, like you can't not like that. Yeah. You know, and that was kind of a lazy take by Kevin Durant.
So who was your actual MVP? Because MVP is hard to judge. I don't like to get into it much because the parameters and the what you need to. I don't know what the clear cut MVP.
Honestly, I'm giving it to Giannis. I think. Yeah. Like so the thing with Jokic is like he is the nerds MVP. The people who be on analytics and whatnot, because he's like a great, like, you know, advanced defensive statistics, which is interesting because he's not a defensive player. So I don't know why people are looking at those numbers for anything, you know. But I say, my thing is Giannis is he's putting up amazing numbers. He's on the team that, you know, I think is, in my opinion, favored to get to the finals out of the East. You know, I think the two favorites in the NBA are like them or the Suns. You know, and I just gotta roll. And they've been a consistent team the whole year. Not that Joel Embiid doesn't deserve it. I think I might have Joel Embiid as my 2, and then Jokic is my 3rd. Although Jokic is gonna win it. Like, regardless of what I think, he's gonna win it.
I believe he's gonna win it too.
Which is kind of.
I mean, you got to give Jokic his credit, though. He did it without Jamal Murray, and who else was he missing?
But like, did what? Become a 6 seed? Like, did what?
Well, how many guys in the NBA is gonna make the playoffs without their wingman? Or
I bet let's give Trae Young some MVP talk. Not that he deserves it over Jokic, but if we're talking people putting up big numbers on bad teams, then you know what I mean. Like, let's give Trae Young some talk. He, you know,
Trae Young was in the play-in, man.
Honestly, I might even. Trae Young be hooping though. Yeah, he don't get the respect he deserves neither.
But I think he's made himself that way.
Yeah. Speaking of like the all-time underdogs, your boy, I don't know. I'm calling him your boy anyway. Baker Mayfield.
That ain't my boy. That's someone else's boy.
Out in the news on some, he feels disrespected, you know, because of the whole way things will happen with him and the Browns and Deshaun Watson. So my question is, like, do you think he was actually disrespected? Like, does he actually have like room to stand and say, like, yo, I was disrespected?
No. And I say that because first off, well, let's go to the podcast that he was on. And he was talking about, what did he say? Talking about booing, the fans booing, and how he doesn't like all that stuff. And first off, you get disrespected when you don't play well. He hasn't played the best at all. Facts. So, like, what do you want them to do? What do you honestly want people to do? You don't play well. People pay to come watch you, bro. Like, there's no disrespect.
He was hurt all year, in his defense.
Then don't play. He's talking about, some guys are check to check, blah, blah, blah. Some guys can't afford not to play. If you can afford not to play, then don't play. Like, don't go out there and show your bullshit. Like, and with Deshaun Watson, honestly, are you taking Deshaun Watson or are you taking Baker Mayfield?
It's Deshaun Watson.
No allegations. I ain't speaking of no one's
so hard
cases.
To say. No allegations. Would you take Deshaun Watson?
I'm talking Deshaun Watson and even a healed Baker Mayfield.
Okay. Anyone not saying Deshaun Watson, taking out the allegations, is an idiot, right? Yes. I think Baker does have a right to feel disrespected. I feel like feeling disrespected, and like, I feel like feelings are your feelings. You can't tell someone like they shouldn't feel a certain way necessarily. And I feel like, again, being told we're gonna stick with you, and then going and getting another quarterback is disrespectful.
That is
how, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, you know, it's like, you know, it's, you know, kind of like, you know, your girlfriend is telling you, hey, you're the only one for me up until, you know, Usher comes along. You know what I mean? It's like, granted, and the argument is, but that's Usher. And it is Usher. Right. But at the same time, it's like, that's cool. You could have just told me.
Yeah.
If Usher came along, you know what I'm saying?
I can understand that. I can understand.
and so I get that. And then the whole like, all right, cool, I want out. And they'd be like, that's the disrespectful part to me. I want out. No. That's the part to me that kills me. Because they were just like, there was no debate. It was just, yeah, no, we're not going to trade you. And then they later traded for Deshaun Watson. It didn't include Baker in the trade.
Yeah,
like
I can see both sides. I really can, but I don't think what he was saying, like the things he's been saying, is helping his case either. Like I don't think he's at all helped his case.
But my thing is, how can you help your case? Like he's here talking about, the thing about the ups, they always come back around. And it's just like, he goes, my first year, it was good. The next year was bad. And then, was it 2020? We won a playoff game. We were up there. And then last year was bad. So next year's going to be a good year. I don't know what kind of logic that is. Like, that is some pure fan fiction. Like, oh, yeah, up and down. So Baker's going to have a good year next year. Like, horrible logic. And as a, athlete, competitor, the fact that you had a bad year is not a reason to claim you won't be good. It's like, you going gambling. Oh, I lost on my last 3 bets, but this one's going to be the one just because I can't keep losing, right? Yeah. Like, nah, you can't keep losing. Yeah, a lot of people are just like, they just lose in a lot of stuff constantly.
I take L's all the time, man.
Yeah.
FanDuel don't treat me right. I gotta come see them. In New Jersey. I think they're in New Jersey. I gotta go step to them.
Yeah. Is gambling legal in Connecticut?
Yeah. It recently.
Is? Yeah, that's what's up.
So I've been doing it a little bit here and there.
I can't get too deep into that bag, man. My thing is, I just can't willingly be like, yeah, let me bet my money on something I can't control. Like, I would much rather be like, yo, let's play a game of Madden and put 20, but I could do that all day. Because then at least if I lose, it's like I lost it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The game probably was cheating anyway, but at least it's like, I had some control.
Cameron's favorite words. The game was cheating. Somehow, some way, your video game will cheat while playing with Cameron.
Hey man, look, that's what happens though. Like, cause not. First off, don't want to pass over Madden. I hate Madden with the passion. Madden is so frustrating with Madden because there's so much you can't control with Madden.
Yeah,
But back to the topic though. Yeah, I think Baker, while Baker was disrespected, I can't blame the Browns. Like, if I'm the Browns, what do you want me to do? Not go sign Deshaun Watson?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you know what I mean? Now, speaking of Deshaun Watson, him getting that money he got was crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, because my thing, you got, was it 280 million, something like that? Like,
in that neighborhood.
Fully guaranteed. You're gonna fully guarantee someone who has pending, like, legal troubles? Like,
it's a very, very, very bold thing to do.
And granted, I'm not even out here speaking on whether or not he did or didn't do it.
I'm not going nowhere.
My opinion on that is there is no benefit to being the first one to be right. I am not Adam Schefter. I do not need to be the first one to proclaim someone's innocence or guilt. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna let them handle that. And all I'm gonna say right now is I'm not dying on the hill that he's innocent either.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming he's guilty. I'm just saying, hey man, let's see what happens. There's a lot of people out here have really weird takes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, especially the people who are claiming he's innocent the whole line. Like, why are you dying on that hill? Like, why is that the hill you choose? I get the people saying he's guilty, only because it's 22 women. What are the odds that like all of them are lying? It's literally none. But the people who are like, nah, he's innocent, they're all lying. All right. That's a little that's a little weird. And also,
that is a little weird.
And my advice to everyone who has these takes and voices them publicly about celebrities, whether it's Deshaun Watson, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, whoever, these people do not know you.
Do not embarrass yourself dying on these hills.
You could be on fire on the street and they would walk right past you with their security in hand. So why? Don't
beats me.
Like, why do you defend people who don't know or care about you at all? Like, I'm a huge J. Cole fan, favorite artist of all time. If J. Cole gets in some shit, damn. Sorry about that.
Homie, yeah.
I'm about to be here like, oh no, J. Cole didn't kill those 25 million people. For what? What J. Cole gonna do for me?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Nothing at all. How was that concert, by the way?
Oh, Dreamful Festival. So for those who don't know, I went to Dreamful Festival. What was it, last weekend? Fire. Yeah. Everyone, if you have not, I very much so encourage you, go to a T-Pain concert. I think it's going on tour. Go to it. I didn't know I needed it until I got it. And it was honestly, it was the most fire dog. I like, because first off, T-Pain, he was like growing up one of my favorite artists, right? And he has just so many good vibe hits.
He does.
You know what I mean? Like in features and everything. And like he was just playing them. It's just, I was just like in the crowd, just jamming the whole time. Yeah. Like I was just in my zone, word for word, all the songs. And the only time it got a little iffy was when he started playing his like current music. And that's just like, come on.
We don't know that T-Pain.
He only did it for one song. And he was like, hey guys, I have to do this. I was like, hey,
don't do it, please.
You know what I mean? But he gave us enough of like the hits. He didn't do I'm Sprung because he ran out of time, which I'm like, all right, you choose your new song over that. Like just the song that started it all, which is, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, go see T-Pain in person if you can. Also festivals in general are just like a dope ass vibe to go to.
Yeah, I've never been to a festival, but definitely a ton of concerts.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of standing, but
okay, so that part sucks.
Yeah,
you know, it's like you're standing all day and whatnot, and like a lot of festivals are in the summer, so it's probably hot. This one was like, you know, beginning of April, so like it wasn't like too hot, which is dope. But if you can get past the whole standing aspect, it's like, because you get to see more than just one person,
right?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like between J. Cole and the rest of like, you know, the Dreamville Castle, whatnot, you know, JID, Boss, Arlance, all of them, T-Pain, T.I., Jeezy, Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many people. I got beef with Wale now though. That man showed up 20 minutes late. It was a 30-minute set. He showed up 20 minutes late.
Oh my god. That man had one job.
He thinks he can come out with Lotus Flower Bomb and make it all right. And it's like, no, you can't.
Cancel, bro.
Bro, hell with Wale. But nah, Dreamful Festival was fire. Definitely encourage everyone to go see T-Pain if you can.
That's what's up. J. Cole usually puts on some good shows, man.
Oh yeah, J. Cole was fire, but everyone knows J. Cole's gonna be fire. Yeah. T-Pain was the one that I wasn't expecting to be like absolutely fire. That it was. Weird. But yeah. What are we on time right now?
I think we are at 40 minutes. So
okay.
I mean, we could wrap it up.
Well, thank you everyone for joining the the Born Sinners Podcast, episode 1.
Yes, sir.
You know, we appreciate y'all coming out and listening to us. You know, we'll have more content coming soon. Bear with us. We, you know, everything's new right now, so we kind of, you know, learn as we go and whatnot. But we'll get there. Tell your friends about us. Tell your friends, your homies, your mom, your auntie, everyone you can. Follow, everybody. Like, subscribe, all that.
Please
stuff.
Subscribe.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, comment.
If you don't, then you know, you just a miserable hater if you don't support.
Yeah, you gonna wish you was here, man, from day one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When we get Ray Allen on the pod, I don't hear nothing coming from none of y'all.
All right, guys. Thank you. Blessings.
Peace.